All right, girls. So what we're gonna do today is you're gonna spend like 5 minutes going through the passage and looking for the vocabulary words that might be a little bit tough for you. Cool?
Okay. Okay.
Good.
This is hard.
All right, I'm gonna do the same. Yeah, if you come up with the same words, that's totally cool. I expect it, don't worry. Let me just hold it.
Day or 3 that's still raining.
Where it rains for that long in a
Like,
row, yeah.
You can't get out.
Like right now, or like I don't know when. Today, they like someone's birthday. Like they may be someone's birthday.
Yeah,
today.
exactly. Good. No, you're absolutely
My
right. So
coach is
you could say
tomorrow.
occasionally it's cloudy out. That would be a good one because we live in Florida. It's mostly sunny. It either rains or it's sunny. It's not too cloudy often, very often here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good.
It could be like, it would be occasionally it starts snowing. It never snows.
Good.
Like I
So
wish it snowed.
the
Just one.
suffix to that word, the very end of the word, ALLY, right? If I put that towards the end of anything like that, what it means is that it goes on in that direction for a while. So occasionally would mean every now and then for a long period of time, right? Whereas, let's say diagonally. If I had it diagonally, it would mean that the line runs diagonally in that direction. Does that make sense?
Like the.
Let me think of a different one. The ly at the end of. Let's just stick with the ly actually instead of the ly. So ly is the suffix here,
Lean.
where it's just the ly would mean. Do you guys know?
No.
No.
Lean.
I got it.
Ling. No.
Think of another
not-
example. Think of like.
Not. No, it doesn't mean that.
Think of like enjoyably,
Like
Happily.
enjoying something.
happily. What are you full of?
Happy.
Like
What are you
happiness.
if it's enjoyably? It was. I was doing it very enjoyably.
Enjoying. I was enjoying that
Good.
moment.
So you're full of what? Enjoyment, right? Your happiness, yeah. So the ly means full of, right? So the reason, and that's why I tie it into time kind of, because it means full of, so it happens a lot usually. So when it comes to occasionally like this, when we're dealing with time, it means that it happens a lot. Does that make sense? So, and I don't mean frequently a lot. I mean like it happens, so kind of what I was saying about birthdays. It happens once a year, right? But it happens every year. So it happens occasionally. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So next, what do we have?
Fragment.
Good, you both have that. Fragments. So fragments would be, what about, let me think of, okay. So you guys kind of just learned about this recently with rocks and minerals.
Fragment.
Do you remember sediment?
Yeah,
when
like
we were
cement?
learning about weathering and erosion, the little pieces that come off.
Oh yeah.
So the pieces of rock, the sediment. Fragment, to me, if you see ment like that at the end of the word, it means a small piece of something. A fragment is just a small piece of it. Does that make sense? So pigment would be a piece of color, like the pigment of this is red. Does that make sense? So ment like that means a small piece of something, generally. It's a decent way to go about it. What about, what's the next one?
Bruce. Did you put that? Bruce. Like it went in story, but I
Oh,
know.
burst. It burst. So the last one, burst over Siberia. You know what burst means?
No.
No? So let me think. So here's a good way to think of it. Candy starburst. They're not full of stars, obviously, but it's full of flavor, right? So why do you think they have, yeah, it's a burst of flavor when you bite it.
It's like a. What is the word?
The fireworks burst over the ocean.
Big thing.
Yeah.
You're picturing it perfectly. You're doing it with your hands. I see that. I like that.
Yeah.
That's half of the battle. Whereas when I think I've mentioned that a little bit before, but more
Like-
importantly than anything, if you can picture what you're trying to get across, the point that you're trying to get across in your head, if you can't necessarily, the words don't necessarily come to the tip of your tongue, that's okay. Just keep practicing and being able to visualize them, because after that, and working with someone like me, you're going to be able to catch that word and go, oh, boom, got it, because you were picturing it. Does that make sense? So when I hear things, when I speak about things all the time, I see the things in my head when I'm talking about them. Does it mean that I'm seeing, things I should be seeing? No, of course not. But it means, because you have imagination that way too. You can be imagining that you're at the beach right now, but we're not going to do that because we're here, right? So the same way that you can do that though, you can use your imagination to help you picture what you're reading, and it helps you piece together the words a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the burst was exactly that. It was like a bang, like an explosion almost. And not like a bad explosion, like a good explosion. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it would be like a firework explosion. It's a good explosion.
A big.
Like imagining.
Yeah.
Imagine a little girl's dreaming that puppies and cats are falling
Yes.
out of the sky in
Yeah.
unicorns.
She would love that. Yeah, exactly. So she's getting a burst of happiness from
Yeah,
that.
and she's imagining.
Yeah, exactly. So you can use that to help you picture the words, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna take some turns here, and we're gonna read one sentence at a time, going through the passage, and then whatever we don't have time to finish, we're gonna pick up tomorrow.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
So who wants to start?
Me.
Anyway, there you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Gazing up at the night sky, you see a shooting star. You start to make a wish, growing brighter, blinding lights stain your eyes. Thundering noise fills the air. Breathing, behind you or beneath you?
Beneath you.
Beneath you.
Good.
The ground seems to tremble. This is no shooting star. Is it a comet? No. This is a giant asteroid. It's heading straight for Earth.
Good.
I thought how shooting star when I was little, but never came to come true.
All right, so the next one, read the little snippet here, this little informational box, yeah.
Date October 7th, 2008. Location
Nubian. Good.
Nubian Desert,
Sudan.
in North Africa.
Good.
Zooming towards Earth at nearly 28,000
Good.
Thank you. Miles per hour. A
Car-sized.
asteroid ripped
Through
through Earth's
asteroid.
Atmosphere.
Enormous heat and energy roasted the 80-ton
Rock
rock. Suddenly it explodes. A giant fireball. Space dust and debris were sent flying across 200 miles of desert. The asteroid distance from impact. The surface 23 miles.
Good. Good job.
Orbiting in an ocean of blackness between Mars and Jupiter. Asteroids drift and occasionally
Good.
collide with one another. Welcome to the asteroid belt. Here, chunks of metal and rocks range from small showers bigger
Good.
to objects larger than moons. Ceres, the largest
Good.
discovered so far, has width of nearly 600 miles.
Good.
That's bigger than a state of
Montana. Good job.
Sometimes astronauts escape from the belt. Gravity from nearby planets can capture the roaming rocks. When one gets close enough, it can enter a planet. Atmosphere.
A planet's atmosphere. Good.
Planet's atmosphere.
Good.
Speeding at thousands of miles per hour. The asteroid heats up as it burns and
Disintegrates. Good.
disintegrates. Chunks get smaller and smaller, exploding high in the sky. Only a few fragments streak the surface. Larger asteroids, however, can survive the trip through our atmosphere. These giants can impact the Earth with destructive force. Luckily, this rarely happens. The last one brushed over Siberia in North Russia in 1908.
Good. Good job. So let me see.